Hi and welcome to Butte Road once again. Thank you once again for joining me. I'm going to make a start on some scenics now. Not quite sure where we're going to be at by the end of this video, but it's going to be a little start on something. One thing I have done this morning is just put some plastic trunking up along there, along that edge to take the wiring. If you remembered, it was just pinned to the side underneath there and a bit loose, so I've done that. But what I'm going to do, I've been to B&Q and got a sheet of 6x2 white faced MDF, the same as I use for the back scene. They run it down the middle for me, so it's going to go along the back over here. So I'm going to take the signs off the wall and then it will drop down behind the layout there. Only come to about here. It won't be so high as the other back scene, but I don't really want to disturb the shelves or anything like that. So we're going to be doing that, and then I should also make a piece to go across the door as well that's going to need to be removable for when I'm folding the door section up out the way like it is at the moment. So let's get on. We'll take these signs off, find somewhere new for them and get on with some more work. So new home for the signs now up by the door, so they're okay up there. That's that done. So phase one is done. This board's not fixed yet. That's going to be fixed across there, and then there'll be some sort of tunnel mouth or whatever, and then at this end here I'll put an end board in. I've had to space it out so that the lifting section comes up in front of it, and then the lifting section will have a separate piece of back scene that will drop in, and it will go just sitting behind there, and the same, it will sit just in front at this end here, and I'll just put it in as and when I need it to do filming or photography. So I've made a section now to go across the doorway. It's just going to be a drop in, and it locates just on this side here and just rests on a piece of wood behind there, so the height's about right. And then there'll be a scenic contour fitted to the lift out section, take up roughly this area here, so you'll be looking through the back scene when I'm actually doing filming or photography. So that's easily removable. It'll just be a case of, now you see it, now you don't. The back scene I've put in there is removable. It's just on a couple of wedges at the back just to hold it upright, and a couple of little blocks of wood at the front and at the back, so that comes out like so, slots in between there and in front of that one at the back. So the main scenics will be separate from this, so I can take that out to work on the track behind and the rest of the fiddle yard. So I've still got a little bit of work on what to do on the fiddle yard here yet, and it will just make it easier to be able to take that away. So this is the back seam board for the station end, so it comes around from station and goes up against there. I've had to mount it on blocks and up on supports at the back, for the simple reason I wanted to get the top level with the back seam board that was already in place. So there's going to be I'm thinking probably a road bridge or something across here over the two tracks, embankment down this side, and obviously a grass embankment at the back as well. So that's roughly what's in mind for there. Just a quick interlude. I just had a pub arrive this morning, the wheat sheath. Not sure where it's going to go yet. It might go there, or there, or up on a grass embankment to hide the cutting at the back up there. We'll see. Right, didn't know what I was going to do, but here we go. I'm going to make a start on actually painting the back scene now. So it's going to be the sky to start with. We're going to do that in this video, and then in future videos I'll do some of the landscape, trees and that sort of thing. So it'll be like a tutorial on that as well. So let's show you where we're up to on the preparations. So I'm using two colours for the sky. It's cerulean blue and titanium white, and I'll be using the larger of the four brushes today, so it'll be most of it done in this one. And got tissue there, got my old t-shirt there which I use for wiping my hands and rubbish on. I put some cardboard just along the top so that I don't actually make a mess on the back, and we'll film a bit of it. I won't film it all obviously because I've got an awful lot to do all the way around the room, but I'll show you how I blend it all in. Remember, it's got to be whiter near the horizon, so the lower it gets the whiter it's got to be, and bluer up above you, so it's got to be blended in as it comes down. But we'll make a start on that. I just need to change the battery now. I'm getting a flash on my battery. There we go. I'm going to be filming this real time. I've just got myself a pot of water as well, just so I can moisten the brush. And we're going to start off. I'm just dipping the end of the brush in some water just to moisten it, and it's going to be take a little bit of each, mainly on the bringing the white in, so I don't want it to be too blue. So we want a nice, fairly even sort of coating along the sky. Normally I use the Ford acrylic blue aerosol from Halfords, and that gives me a fairly good sky colour, but obviously because the back scene on this layout is actually fixed in place, I can't use that, so we're actually having to hand paint this one. So let me just show you what I normally use. For those that haven't seen my back scene painting demo, that's the one I normally use, which is Ford's Olympic Blue from Halfords, and when I spray on, that's the one I normally use for that, along with some white primer. So if you haven't seen the back scene painting demo, it's on my YouTube channel. There we go. So I'll carry on with this now. Just going to say, if you did want to get adventurous and put clouds in, just dab on a bit of white, put in a bit like that, and then blend it in at the bottom. Nice swirly motion, and you can put clouds in. You can do what you want. You can just leave it as a lighter patch like that, or you can just put it in as a, I don't know what they call it, stratocumulus or whatever it might be, cloud like that. So there's different ways of doing it, and just to make the sky a bit more interesting really, if you wanted to. Probably also worth saying that the lighter you are with the brush, the better it will blend and come out. If you try and press too hard with the brush, you will get more streaks and stripes, etc. But if you can just feather it on, and then always blend it in as well, don't be afraid to blend it like that, and then keep your strokes horizontal afterwards, so that you don't get vertical lines. The last thing you want is lines going up and down. So just to make the point that you can just feather it in. A little bit of water, as I say, that helps it to spread, and just keeps it. The acrylic paint is very quick drying, so the little bit of water just keeps it moist enough to be able to work it for a bit longer. The back seam will come up to about this level here, so this is where I need it to be almost a white for the horizon area. And just to show I don't get it right every time, when this dried, it dried too dark for my liking, so I've taken some almost pure white this time. I've taken a little tiny bit of blue, you can just see there's a little bit in there, and basically I'm redoing this to make it almost a whitish colour as opposed to the blue that we had before. I'm using a lot more water as well this time. I'm really wetting it down, especially in the top half, because I want the top half to be fairly transparent so the blue still shows through quite a bit up there. And then as I say, don't get it right every time, but then we use some thicker white just to add in the bottom there, because like I said on the previous video, it's always going to be whiter towards the horizon, so that's where we need the white to be showing as the stronger colour as opposed to the blue. So I'll finish this off now and then show you what it looks like at the end. Nice light strokes, always keep them vertical. Don't be afraid to do crosses to mix the colours in. If you want to mix the colours in, yeah, you can do that, it's absolutely fine, but just always finish up with horizontal strokes going across to just pull it out nice and neat. And then, as I say, if you want to put a cloud in there, you can do that, and that will just give a lighter area in the middle there if you wanted to. So I'll finish this off now and we'll see how that looks at the end. Hopefully a lot better. I'm just going to make a start and do the little bridge over the river, so I'll show you that before we finish this video. And I've started by, I've got some of the side bits that go in under there. I bought a pack of singles and then I bought an extra pack of the double one because I wanted more railings to be able to put the railings along. I need double the length basically. The centre parts will be cut out so they won't be sort of bit down the middle. So I needed 4 lots of railings as opposed to the 2. I also needed more width to go across the double track, so I've actually taken 3 of the sections there and I've glued a piece of plastic card onto them excuse me, to make the walling, so that will now go in under there. So I found some Plastruct in my box and I'm using that as the girder, and then the support piece will sit within the girder somehow like that, and then the railings will sit on top. So hopefully that will work, I hope. We'll see. There isn't quite enough length that I really wanted, but it's going to have to do. I can fill in the corners with overgrown bushes and that sort of thing. It is supposed to be rural, so we can get away with that, and then the walling will come through underneath there. So yeah, that'll be okay. I'll get the railings on now. So that'll be the first side roughly in place. The walls aren't fixed yet, but the railing is done on one side. So there we go. So yeah, I've used the Plastruct, which is the white you can see, and then I've fitted in the decking bit on the top there and the girder bits, and yeah, it's okay, it'll do the job. And once I've finished, I'll fit the retaining walls in properly and do that. So that should look quite good. Get a bit of mud and water under there. Right, a quick look around at the sky that I've done. It's a lot brighter, lighter, and yeah, looks okay. So that's all done. The little bridge there is all done, and that's all ready now to start putting some mud, and I've got to do the retaining walls, but put some mud and some bits and pieces in there. The next job is going to be to paint on some hillsides and maybe even some trees and that sort of thing. We'll see how far we get with the next video, but thank you for watching, and we'll catch you again soon after I've had a tidy up. Bye now.